One of the most frustrating aspects of dealing with clients is sometimes they won't listen. And obviously, ultimately, it's a matter for the client to decide whether they want to bring a claim or not to the WRC or go to court. And the solicitor's job is to advise. So the client instructs and the solicitor advises. But sometimes, notwithstanding the advice that I might give a client, they are hell-bent on going ahead in any event, and they have an over-optimistic view of their likelihood of success. It's particularly frustrating when the client is somebody who you actually like on a personal basis. Obviously, you do your very best to represent all of your clients as best you can and in a professional way, but sometimes there are certain clients that you just actually hit it off with on a personal basis. There's some common ground or common features or common background between us, or perhaps I admire something that they may have done, or I may have sympathy for their particular circumstances because they may have had a particularly hard time, or they may have come to the country with perhaps limited English or limited opportunities and done really well for themselves. Those types of people I get on with very well from time to time on a personal basis, and it's those people in particular that I find it very frustrating when I advise them that the chances of success of a claim or a number of claims that they may bring, for example, to the WRC, the chances of winning are small, or they may win one out of perhaps 3 claims, but the potential reward from that claim is going to be so small that it may not even cover the legal fees. That's very, very frustrating. Now, I could walk away, but I don't walk away because if I did, then the likelihood is that the client is going to go to another solicitor who, quite frankly, in my view, will probably charge them more and perhaps not have the same interest in them as I do. So there is a bit of a dilemma there for me. There is a bit of a dilemma in watching somebody heading headlong into a number of claims that perhaps you think they've no chance of winning or very, very small chance of winning. But unfortunately, sometimes it's very, very difficult to get through to people, no matter how many times you tell them, and no matter what method you use to tell them. And you could try being really nice about it, you could try being blunt and speaking plain, but sometimes people do just make up their own mind, and come hell or high water, they are determined to bring their claim, go ahead and expect you to represent them. Now, I do represent them, and I represent them as best I can, but it can be frustrating because sometimes you can see people with claims that essentially are going to probably be a waste of time and money, but I have difficulty, great difficulty, and great frustration arising from not being able to change their mind. So if you are going to engage a solicitor, or indeed any professional, but particularly solicitor, then I would strongly advise you to listen to them, listen to the advice, weigh up the pros and cons, take an objective, cold view of your case, take an objective, cold view of the advice that you're getting, and do pay attention to what your professional advisor or your solicitor says, because it is frustrating and it's potentially time consuming and potentially costly for you, and ultimately the solicitor at the end of the day is going to get paid the fee on legal costs, but you know, the client, if they are involved in a case that is ultimately going to end up in more frustration, are going to be very, very disappointed. Hope you find this useful. If you do, you might give it a thumbs up down below. Thank you.